12 Best Perennials for Full Sun. Low-growing yellow Alyssum is a matte-forming flowering ground cover. Grow it in areas where you would prefer it to spread and cover unsightly bare patches. Not to be confused with sweet Alyssum, Lobularia maritima, yellow Alyssum bears bright yellow flowers in the spring. Cut back the plant by up to half after it flowers to maintain its shape. Also, avoid poorly drained soil and excessive watering, as this can kill the plant. A rock garden favorite, snow in summer gets its picturesque name from its appearance in bloom, white flowers against a background of silver foliage. This low-growing perennial loves to spread over sunny areas. And it pairs nicely with colorful blooms, such as roses, Rosa spp, and coneflowers, Echinacea. Remove spent blooms in the late spring unless you want the plant to self-seed. At this time, it's also ideal to remove any dead or diseased foliage and tidy up the shape of the plant. Catnip is an edible perennial containing an essential oil that many cats tend to love. This plant is tolerant of drought, and it can even handle a little shade, especially during hot afternoons. But wet soil can kill the plant, so water only when the soil dries out. Prune off the flower spikes after they've faded to encourage further blooming, and divide established plants when they become crowded in your planting area. Salvia is one of the most popular perennials for full sun. People new to gardening might only know of the red annual, Salvia splendens. But the perennial types of salvia are largely in the blue-violet color range, though there are a few pink cultivars from which to choose. Some of the hardier blue-violet types include May Night, Caradonna, and Blue Hill. Remove spent flower spikes to encourage further blooming, and cut back plants after flowering has finished for the season. Another full-sun perennial with silvery foliage is lamb's ear. This low-maintenance plant not only thrives in dry soil conditions, but it's also deer-resistant. Its velvety leaves are soft enough to snuggle with, and in the late spring its lavender blooms add one more element to your garden. This plant tends to rot and develop diseases in humid conditions, so protect it by ensuring that it has well-draining soil. Watering usually isn't necessary unless you have long stretches without any rainfall. The Hens and Chicks plant is a succulent that consists of parent rosettes, the hens, and tiny offspring, the chicks. It may look dainty, but this is a hardy perennial that can tolerate drought and rocky or sandy soil. Just make sure it has good drainage, and don't overwater. Once a rosette blooms, it will die. Remove these rosettes from the plant to allow the offspring plants to fill in the space. Another succulent, Autumn Joy Stonecrop, derives its name from its late blooming period. Its pink, bushy blooms arrive in September or October, long after most other plants have gone to seed. This makes it the perfect addition to a four-season interest garden. Avoid soil that is too rich, as this can make the plant floppy, and ensure that it has good drainage. Light pruning in the late spring can help to shape the plant and make it grow fuller. Yarrow's beautiful flat-top flowers come in many subtle colors and grow in clusters. Make sure to give this plant some room to spread, as it reaches around 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. And be prepared to pull it up when it exceeds its bounds. In the right conditions, it can be an aggressive spreader. Cutting back the plant during the growing season after its first flowering can help to encourage additional blooming and keep its shape in check. The Shasta daisy, with its ray-like petals radiating from a bright yellow disc, certainly makes a statement in the garden. Shasta daisies thrive in dry, sunny areas, and they can even tolerate a cold snap. But wet soil, especially in the winter, can kill a plant, so good drainage is a must. Remove spent flowers to encourage additional blooming throughout the growing season. And cut back the plant after it's done flowering to promote healthy growth for the next season. Black-eyed Susan is another plant that will spread and form a great mass, with each plant reaching around 2 feet tall and wide. Even if you have sufficient space, this spreading can be a problem because it reduces air circulation. A lack of airflow can foster powdery mildew and other diseases, so divide your plants as needed to stop this from happening. Moreover, remove spent blooms to encourage further flowering and prevent the plant from unwanted self-seeding. Threadleaf Coreopsis, also known as tickseed, has a long blooming period from June to August. This plant grows to around 2 feet in height and spread, and it can spread somewhat aggressively via underground rhizomes and self-seeding. Removing spent blooms is helpful to prevent unwanted spreading, and it can promote more flowering. Plus, pruning the plant in the late summer not only will clean up its growth, but it also can encourage a fall rebloom. The lavender plant serves more than one purpose in the garden. Its wispy green leaves and purple blooms look beautiful, and its soothing fragrance helps to keep pests away. Plus, you can cut this aromatic herb to enjoy its smell inside. Shape the plant with pruning in the spring after new leaves appear. And remove spent blooms to prolong flowering, which occurs from around June to August. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.